Hi, John McCann from Survival Resources. Yesterday I did a video on a mini toolkit that I made. It was made into a small tin like this. We had a lot of real positive comments on it. We had one negative from an individual who sort of indicated that a mini toolkit is pretty useless. I obviously disagree, and opinions vary. But for those who want a little bit larger kit, back in 2012, I did a video on a small toolkit that I did inside of a Maxpedition Micro Organizer Pouch. And this is basically going to be 2.0 because I have done a lot of updates to that. This is the kit, as I indicated. It's in the Maxpedition Micro Pouch. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some close-ups and show you exactly what's in this toolkit. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to show a comparison to the kit I did yesterday. This is the mini toolkit tin. This was the one I showed yesterday in the video. This is one I'm showing today, which is the small toolkit pouch, which is in a Maxpedition Micro Organizer Pouch. As you can see, there's quite the difference in size here, especially if you compare them side by side and by length. The advantage of this pouch is that it's obviously larger and it allows you to put longer tools into it. Now the difference in weight, as you can see, is this one here yesterday was only 15.5 ounces, less than a pound. Still considerable weight, but this one here is 1 pound 12.5 ounces. Quite a bit of difference. So a lot has to do with how much weight do you want to carry with you. Anyway, let's get into the toolkit pouch here. This is my small toolkit. Okay, this is what it looks like inside. As you can see, there's quite a bit in here. Let's start from this side over here. What I have first is the Nipix. This is probably the best pair of pliers for a small pair that I've ever found. These are only 5 inches long. As you can see, they fit nicely into this pouch. But these are substantial little pliers. They're made in Germany. As you can see, you press the button here and you can adjust this, and then it stays in that section. And these have the ability to go up to this size. And believe me, they have the torque. This thing, I've never broken one of these. These are very substantial little pliers. So that's why they really are the lead to my kit. Next I have under that is a 4-inch adjustable wrench, which works in conjunction with this many a times. Over here I have a set of sockets. Okay, before you ask, I got these at a flea market. Got to be, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, and I wouldn't know where to get them now. So if you want to know, you're going to have to look somewhere like on Amazon or something like that to see if they got something like this. Okay, next to that is my pry bar. As you can see, it pries from both ends. You can pry from this end, or you can pry from that end. This is an old, appears to be a Craftsman. In the back of this pouch, I have brass wire. Obviously great for all types of repairs. What I also have in here is a set of wire cutters and strippers. That way I can cut wire, anything from brass wire to electrical wire, and I can also strip them if I wanted to. And this is adjustable for different sizes here. It's hard to show. There you can see it there. You can go from large right down to small. And this is also the lock to keep these closed. Okay, last but not least in this pouch is I have duct tape and I have electrical tape, both black and red. The reason for that is if I wanted to mark something positive, negative on something electrical, I can do it with the red and the black. Okay, that takes care of this side of the pouch. Now let's go to this side. I have a Tops survival saw. This is larger than obviously the saw that I could fit into my mini kit, but it's much more substantial, gives you a much larger handle, and allows you to cut larger items. The other thing in here is I have a mini set right here, vice grips. Okay, vice grips, as everyone knows, is very handy because you can lock this onto something. You can hear the click there. And with vice grips, you can use these in conjunction with wrenches, all of that type of stuff, or you can just use it to clamp onto something. So I find these very handy to have in a kit. Next, I have a set of jeweler's files. In the back here, you unscrew this, and you can see there's a whole selection of jeweler's files. And when you want to use one of these, it goes into the front, obviously. Here, you unscrew this, you put the file you want to use in there, and now it gives you a good size handle in order to be able to file something with that. Last but not least, up in the top section is we have the mini screwdriver set, which we sell at Survival Resources. In the back here, I not only have small screwdrivers for both Phillips and regular, but I also keep a sewing oil needle in here. And the idea of this is you can place it in the front of this and use it as a sewing oil for repairs. The other thing I carry in there is a regular sewing needle. So it gives me quite a nice selection with the small handle to be able to use for various types of miniature screwing, especially if you want to work on your glasses or something like that. And at the same time, I have a sewing oil and I have a regular sewing needle in there. Okay, let's go into the back of the pouch here now. The back of the pouch has this little bag in it. In this bag, there are several items. Okay, this is the item I like most in here. This is the toe peak ratchet. This is such a nice little ratchet. I go through and explain this very well in the mini kit video. And the advantage of this is it has an on and off, not an on and off, I'm sorry. It has a on to go on, and then it has an off. With some of the ratchets, I remember the old one I used to carry was the Chapman bit ratchet, and the problem with that was you had to take the bit out and turn it over in order to either go on or off. With this one here, you can select here. What comes with this is an extension, which can go into the back and extend the size of this, or you can put it in the ratchet part and use it this way, or you can use it this way to get some heavy torque when you want to screw something very tight. This, of course, holds hex bits. The other thing is the Doc Allen tool. I like this for various reasons. You can screw this way with it, or unscrew this way with it. You can turn it this way and have yourself basically a T-driver. The other thing nice about it is the front of this is for hex bits. However, if you take that off, now you have a 1/4 square drive, which can be used with the sockets. So that's nice. I obviously, along with my bits, I have a 1/4 inch drive, which can go into the toe peak ratchet. So now I could also use the sockets with this. And all of those are in this little pouch, which slides into the back of here. In the front of this pouch, I have some solder, a little bag of solder. The reason for this is because sometimes you want to do a hasty solder job on some wires. A lot of people feel you need a solder gun to do that. You really don't. You can twist the wires together, and then you can wrap a little bit of this solder around it and use a Bic lighter, which everybody carries one in their pocket or in one of their kits. And you can use the Bic lighter to make a hasty solder on wire, and it'll last pretty well. Last but not least, I have a set of hex bits. Now these are Bristol hex key set. Before you ask where you get it, you can't. This was given to me by my father probably 30 years ago. The company is out of business, but I like the size for a small kit because it gives me a complete set of hex bits in here. And I like to have Allen wrenches. Allen wrenches are very, very necessary sometimes. And the thing is, if you're going to carry your Allen wrenches in hex bits, then you've added another 2 or 3 rows of hex bits. Okay, last but not least, I always like to have some zip ties with me. Now you can notice you don't see any zip ties in here, but this seam that runs around here, this is just nice to be able to put a large zip tie. As you can see, that fits right around there, and you can just feed this up through there. And it gives you a large zip tie. You can see on this side there was another one, and that runs this way through that. Anyway, this is my small toolkit. Well, there you have it. This is a video on my small tool pouch made into a Maxpedition Micro Pouch. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we want to thank everyone for their continued support of Survival Resources, of my videos and my books, and we'll see you next time around.